Just learned how to barely juggle when I was younger, and I thought that it would be really cool if I taught myself how to juggle while watching TV. So I just wanted to automate this process. Was like, let me get really good at multitasking, right? So I would be in front of the TV and I'd be running around chasing the balls everywhere. And I wanted to automate it. I wanted to put the juggling in my subconscious mind, and so I had that set in place, and so that was what I did. And going back and looking at our subconscious behaviors, we always think of the subconscious mind as the automatic processes in the body. So it's known as the autonomic nervous system, our subconscious mind. This is the ability to self-regulate. So it's our heart rate, our respiration, our posture, right? I'm not thinking about my posture, I'm not thinking about my breath, I'm not thinking about my heart rate or my eyes blinking, yet there is something automatically doing this for me. That's my subconscious mind, that's my autonomic nervous system. So when we fall into a place where we are kind of out in line with our bodies, so we go through some sort of dis-ease, we're usually out of line with these automatic subconscious processes that are going on in the body. So my favorite way to train the autonomic nervous system is through muscle, by putting on muscle. I love weight training. If there's any way that you can figure out how to put on muscle, I have found weights to be my just absolute favorite. I sort of do kind of like I incorporate some yoga, respiratory rate, and some stillness into my training. I usually call it's like a yin weight training, right? We typically lift like in a very masculine culture. That's just our culture. So it's very rough and tough, and you got to do it. And I like to be observant so that I don't hurt myself, but also I'm training for flexibility, and I'm training my nervous system. So I'm training the ability to, for instance, sit here and juggle these balls without looking at them. I'm training my autonomic nervous system. And so yeah, it's a beautiful thing when you start to look at, you know, these subconscious processes that are happening. We are always engaging with them in a conscious way, whether we know it or not. So that's why I always say prioritize the fasted state. Make sacred the fasted state. This is our subconscious state. When we're going to sleep, we all know that we lose consciousness, our consciousness goes elsewhere that we are sometimes not completely aware of. And so we can also increase this ability to sleep by increasing our autonomic nervous system, which is through putting on muscle on the body. So it's a really, really beautiful thing. I hope I was able to kind of lay out everything pretty simply there. We basically want to just get these processes in line, and to be able to look at the loss of regulation, we look at this as the aging process. So when we age, we lose things like posture, we lose all of these senses, right? We lose the ability to regulate our heart rhythms at a stable rate. We lose the ability to sleep. A lot of older people don't need to sleep as much, they don't need to eat as much, right? We lose the function, the ability to self-regulate as we age. Unfortunately, we are seeing a loss of this ability to self-regulate. We are losing our autonomic nervous system at a very young age. So females who are having their progesterone and their hormones really, really low right now, really in a depressed state, people getting dementia and Alzheimer's, diabetes type 3 at an earlier stage. The same thing with type 2, being that childhood obesity is a running rampant epidemic that we have. So we're looking at all of this, and if you can look at it from the aging process, we are going through an accelerated aging. So if you want to slow your aging rate down, you have to become back into yourself, your autonomic processes. So and this is going to have to do with digestion too, right? Because if I'm hunched over like this is going to affect my digestion. This is going to be, they've done studies to show that people hunched over secrete more cortisol. We want to be upright. We want to be having these autonomic processes. We want to have our hormones in an automatic state, because we cannot possibly be conscious of, there's a lot of distractions. I guess we could be conscious. We can really do anything, but there's so many distractions. You pick up your phone and you automatically just, I'll speak for myself, automatically just stuck in this bent neck situation, right? A lot of you who don't work out too will get pains in certain areas of the back, and they actually like have started calling like a cell phone, it's like a cell phone holding disease. It's not a disease, but it's like a muscle spasm that people will get in a certain area of the back, and they've kind of decided that that is from chronic holding the phone in the same position. So our muscles need to be moved. We are kinetic beings. We are basically moving plants. So it's a beautiful, beautiful process. And then again, we know exercise is the best thing for you. So if you want to digest your food properly, if you have problems with digestion, you want to put on muscle, you want to get out in the sunlight. If you are not good with exercise, start with your light cycles. So start getting outside in the morning, start getting outside in the afternoon. If you're sensitive to the light spectrum, do it earlier, do it a little bit less, right? Listen to your body, don't overdo it. But it's also important, again, going back, can't skip it out, the essential amino acids and fatty acids. This is what our diet should be made of. Your ability to use solar energy, which is the energy from the sun, is dependent on your food diet and also the exercise that we're using, right? As we get older, we cannot use the solar energy as good as we can, right? So as you're aging, if you're above the age of 35, 40, you want to focus on putting that muscle in your body so that you can use as much energy as you can, and then you can automate this process into your aging, right? We have muscle when we're younger. We kind of just, it's easier, right? It just takes a moment of investing your time to figuring out, how do I put this muscle in my body? What do I need to eat, right? So I can still have fun and eat an occasional donut or cake here and there, right? Because good things in life, but we want to understand what oxidation is, what aging is, and we want to be able to absolutely automate our oxygen levels better, sugar levels, everything, hormones, everything. So if this was helpful for you, I just wanted to say I started putting my Venmo down below in the description if you want to donate. Thank you to everyone who has donated so far. I really, really appreciate everything, all of your support, as I spend a lot of time researching, reading, trying to put this information together here. So I hope that it's helpful. Like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. As always, good luck.